And hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Today at the Races presented by Fidelity First. I'm Stanton Salter along with our odds maker Keith Fusel. Happy Memorial Day to everybody, and thank you to all our men and women in the military who have served and sacrificed. And we're going to have a special live day of racing here for Memorial Day. Always a big crowd here at Pimlico for Memorial Day.
Significant day. We sit here and honor those who have died in service, fighting for our country, all the freedoms that we have. And even the vets out there, recognize those. I'm sure we all have contact with some vets and know somebody that's been lost in service. So a very touching day, a somber day of some sorts, but a day to reflect and really honor those that have served our country.
All right, we're going to put on a show for everybody coming out here today. We had a deluge, a hellacious rainstorm came through yesterday. Our hearts and prayers, thoughts and prayers go out to everybody in Ellicott City. They got flooded again. Well, what a rainstorm we had here yesterday. So we're off the turf today. Your thoughts on the main track will be listed as sloppy as we get going.
I tell you, coming in, I thought it would be wetter than what it really is. The guys have worked, diligently and really hard to deal with a track surface like this with what we had yesterday. I don't know if you were on board watching out there, but it was as torrential as it's been in this region. And just 2 years ago, you talked about Ellicott City had to deal with that. But the guys have done a great job of the track. Sloppy now, still some standing water in some spots. But if we don't get any more moisture, it'll be muddy pretty soon. Yeah, they floated up pretty good.
All right, well, we have one of the biggest carryovers in the country. That's going to start in race 4 today. There it is, our 20-cent Rainbow Pick 6, a little shy of $280,000. It's a mandatory payout today. It all must go. How high do you think that Pick 6 pool will get to today? Maybe upwards of $1 million?
Not so sure, but I mean, I got to say close to a half, maybe a little bit more over that. Yeah, we'll keep abreast of the situation. Tough little, the sequence. Unfortunately, not huge fields, not as contentious maybe, but we've got to find some nuggets along the way to get home a bigger prize here. I mean, a lot of people I think going to single and use Magical in the 8th race a little bit later. So got to beat a couple of these shorter price horses.
There's a heavy favorite in the last race as well, main track only horse on the outside. So there it is, one of the biggest carryovers in the country today. It's a mandatory payout for a Pick 6. We also have a nice carryover in our late Pick 5. That starts in race 5 today with that industry low 12% takeout. There's the carryover, a little over 8,100, and that's a mandatory payout as well. So if the Pick 6 is too much to jump in, you jump right in here for the Pick 5, or you go after both of them here on Memorial Day.
Both worlds to choose from this afternoon, no doubt.
All right, let's show you what the track conditions look like. We showed you. Let's show you the mandatory payout board. That's for the Pick 6, Pick 5, and the Super High Fives. Mandatory payout. It all must go today. Closing day of the Preakness meet is today here at Pimlico. So mandatory payout for the Rainbow Pick 6, late Pick 5, and the Super High Five. Let's show you a picture of the main track, which is listed as sloppy. And you mentioned still some water and spots on the track, but no rain right now. Hopefully we can dry it out and maybe get to a muddy track later on this afternoon.
Sure they're going to continue floating this racetrack, and you should get the muddy pretty soon.
All right. Let's see, where are we next here? Well, if you haven't got your Preakness gear, we have you all hooked up here, closing day of the meet right here at our home stretch gift shop. 50% off all your Preakness gear, hats, shirts, glasses, all your Preakness clothing and apparel and souvenirs. 50% off. Today is the last day to get this deal right here, second floor of the grandstand in the home stretch gift shop.
Yeah, hopefully I can go in there and purchase a little extra after taking down the Pick 6. That'll be good.
There you go. Take the Pick 6 and get some Preakness gear. All right, and opening day at Laurel Park is coming up. Hopefully the grass course over there is ready for a big summer of racing on the world-class turf course there at the Laurel Park 2018 Summer Meet, racing June 1st through August 19th. Then we go to Timonium. Then we go back to Laurel Park for the fall meet. So we'll be at Laurel for the rest of the year, except for that little 2-week break in Timonium in August. So looking forward to getting back there next Friday.
Yeah, we'll be back and just finished up the morning line for Friday's cards. Quite a few contentious races, some bigger fields back on that turf course. So yeah, it'll be wide open when we get back to Laurel.
All right, well, let's get right to it here. Race 1 is going to kick off your early pick 5. The early pick 5 is always a mandatory payout here in Maryland, just like the late pick 5 has that industry low 12% takeout. So that starts here in race 1. We're going 4.5 furlongs on the main track, rated sloppy here for the opener. Maiden claiming 40,000 for 2-year-olds. We have a stat to show you. Trainer Jerry Robb has been red hot this meet. He's 4 for 10. Mario Pino is going to ride the 6. Lippy Lorenzo. Here's a stat for Jerry.
Yeah, Jerry might have a few more 2-year-olds this year than he's had in years past. I know you were talking a couple weeks ago. The word was out. He's got some runners. So Lippy Lorenzo, Jerry Robb, the past 2 years, 2 for 7 and 4 for 7 in the money with 2-year-olds second out on the dirt. Look at that ROI, pretty gaudy, $5.08. Lippy Lorenzo, kind of an even try, called 4 and 5 wide in debut, May 3rd at Laurel. That race, I don't think he's got to really improve much off of it to get into the mix in here. I'm going to use him. Top selection will be the 4, Glad Dad for Cal Lynch.
All right, let's talk about the 4 here. Let's see our selections here for the opener. I go 2, 4, 7, 6. You have the 4 on top. This horse was the favored in his debut. A Maryland-bred, homebred for Narrowleaf Farm and David Baxter by Frisian Fire. A very useful debut at about 8-5. Girls Love Me was a sharp winner that day by 5.5. Vargas gets aboard today for trainer Cal Lynch. Cal Lynch has had a winner this year with his 2-year-olds. Looking for a win this meet. All his horses are running well. Glad Dad's going to be the favorite they're all going to have to contend with here in the opener.
Ran into a freaking debut. Girls Love Me just whistled.
Yep.
The horse was huge. He was like twice the size of everybody in the race. Just ran off and hid in a sharp time of 52-1. Glad Dad bet down the favoritism in that race. A long line of 2-year-old winners in this family. I think Glad Dad just has to kind of hold form to go ahead and get the job done right here. But Town Drunk, the 2-horse, could be the speed of the speed coming off of a really sharp debut at Churchill Downs.
Yeah, the horse went to the front, just got beat, was bet down to the favorite that day. The horse that won Infantry, that horse was making his 3rd career start, so he had the experience edge. Now Town Drunk has a race under his belt. Sheldon Russell's going to try to use that speed from the inside here on this Jersey Town 2-year-old who has 2 siblings, both winners, including one horse has made $122,000. So that's encouraging. I'll try to beat the heavy favorite here with the 2 Town Drunk. Going to need to get a good break and use that speed right from the get-go, though.
I love the name, Town Drunk. We all know him, right? Right?
Yeah.
We know the guys in town. By Spites, by a stallion who was by Spites down bottom side, Dixie Union. That's mud on mud right there. You're going to love the off-track, the 2 Town Drunk.
There you go. All right, nice group of maiden 2-year-olds there in the opener to kick off your early pick 5. We have big carryovers in the Rainbow pick 6, a late pick 5, but you like the early pick 5. Try to pad your bankroll for the late pick 5. Yes, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, but it would end just in time. No, it would overlap. But still, you like the early pick 4 here.
Yeah.
Let's take a look. Starts in race 2.
Yeah, I do think the 3. I've got a bad line on the 3. Now we do have scratches in race 2. The 1 Lady Racer and the 4 Lonely Drifter. Do believe the 3 is going to be a solid favorite in that. Sometimes we swing, sometimes we miss. That's what happens. Sure. Second race, the 2 and the 3 to get you started. 3 deep in the 3rd with the 2, the 4, and the 6. The 4, My Price Shot, a drop in class with some targets to run at. Rocco and Sandy, maybe the higher price of the Lynches to come running late to get up. 4th race, 1, 2, 4, and 7. I have hope. She's going to be the favorite. She looked awfully good last time. I'm going to take her on top. I'm not completely sold, so I'm going to protect with a couple other ones in race 4. In the 5th race, the 4 Bad Nana, who whistled on off track a few starts back, and the 6 Expect Indy, who got the better of Bad Nana last out.
Expect Indy 4 for 4 in the off going. That's my key horse in the pick 6 there. Kieran McGee trying to take trying to win the trainer's title here at Pimlico for the Preakness meet. He's your leading trainer going into the end of the final day. So let's take a look here at the second race. We're on the main track. We're on the main track all day here. Sloppy going to start off. 6 furlongs here in race 2. Maiden claiming 25,000. Filly mares 3 and up. We have a scratch here on the 1 Lady Racer, who was 7-2, and also a scratch on the 4 Lonely Drifter, who was your 8-5 morning line favorite. So we both end up with the 3, the Wildcat Sunshine here, taking a big drop for trainer Jose Corrales.
It's a little more experienced rider today, and Lynch, a major excuse last time out for a maiden special weight company. Bumped at the start, steadied in a half mile point when trying to make a move up to contention. 2 back try. good speed. 22 and 3, 45 and 3 was only a few lengths off of that internal pace. I think this horse with a good break, she'll go ahead and get sent by Feargal and can take them wire to wire. Yeah, she's going to be the favorite. This horse should have been lined lower than the 2, no doubt.
Oh, I mean, with the 2 favorites being scratched out of here, the odds
she's
are going
to be awfully short.
Be all different. The 2 cut time, good second 2 starts ago. Didn't like the turf last out. Going to try to get back in good form today. This horse not much early speed. Going to be covered up early on with traffic going down the back stretch.
Yeah, out of a 3-back race, Bellantana came back to win. She can make the move into it. You've got some chasers in Starship, Yenta, and Be Humble. If the Wildcat Sunshine gets pressure, it might soften it up and allow cut time to go by.
All right, so we're both on the 3-2 exacta there in the second. Let's take a look at race 3, going 6 furlongs, claiming 5,000 filly mares 3 and up. Never won 2 lifetime. I end up with the 2 Troublesome on top. Vargas on this 4-year-old filly by End of Mischief for trainer Charlie Lynch. And the race first off the claim, they dropped from the 10 life to the nickel 2 life, went to the front that day in a useful third. That race was coming back after a couple months off. Now right back here at the same level. You get one of the leading riders, Vargas, to take the call. Going to try to go right to the front, I would imagine, with the 2 Troublesome.
Yeah, Sammy Be Cool, right outside of her, has awfully good speed as well. A drop here from the 15 level down to 5,000 for Tony Ferry. But Troublesome, the inside wasn't really the greatest place to be on the 12th of May, but they kind of really walked home that last 1/8 of a mile after dueling. Maybe Troublesome in this field can target Sammy Be Cool. It'll be interesting to see the tactics. I don't know if they want to get engaged, but if they do, I think Rock On Sandy is your price user. I found an interesting stat for Cal Lynch. Last 2 years, he's 4 for 12 with 50% droppers on the dirt. 8 for 12 in the money with an ROI of over $3. We're going to get a live bug rider here, Ezekiel Lara, the 7-pound apprentice. I'm going to toss the last. Gets the old outrun E stretch. 2-back try, good enough, chasing fast internals. Rock On Sandy has the breeding to like the off track, and I think has the ability to run into this pace.
All right, you'll get a nice price. I didn't use the 4, but the horse is getting a class relief. Lightweight assignment there, 112 with the 7-pound apprentice. We both like, well, I used the 3, Sammy Be Cool on the drop for Farrier. That was a nice win in the mud here at Pimlico last year when this filly was 2, and then didn't run very well at Delaware last summer, and then came back off a long layoff at Parks last out in the slop and didn't run very well. So a quick drop here to a track where this filly broke her maiden at in the mud, so I like that.
Okay.
All right, let's get a quick commercial break. When we come back, today's 20-cent Rainbow Pick 6 starts in race 4, one of the biggest carryovers in the country. It's almost 280,000. We'll take a look right after this.
The all-new Laurel Park is beyond your expectations. Feel the anticipation.
Is this long shot elevator?
Witness the speed. Experience the thrill.
Okay, welcome back. It's closing day of the Preakness meet here at Pimlico, and we have one of the biggest carryovers in the country in our 20-cent Rainbow Pick 6, almost 280,000. Let's show you how much it is. There we go, $279,837. They will put a lot of money into this today. You're saying around $500,000?
I would think it could go further than that. I don't have a real good tab on it. You're a little bit better to kind of gauging those numbers than me. I would say at least right around a half.
I would hope at least that. Maybe closer to 700,000-800,000. We'll hope. I'll be jumping in. See if you like my ticket here. See if I can get live in the first leg. There's my ticket, a $51 20-cent play. I'm going to go 4 deep here in race 4. Race 4 is a tricky beaten. 7,500 for Filly Mare is going 3/4. The 7 Have Hopes, my top pick. The 8 Crystal Pier will be sharp on the outside, I think, for McGee and Vargas. But I also like the 1 Empress Suiko for Joan Reynolds, and also maybe the 4 No Soup for You, a closer for Dale Capuano and Weston Hamilton. So going 1, 4, 7, 8 here in race 5. I took a second look at the other Dale Capuana runner in here, the 2 Dixie Rose. I didn't use that filly. I'm a little nervous about her. She gets the Bug Boy Lara aboard the 2 Dixie Rose. I didn't use in race 4. And here we go, race 5. That's a nice nickel starter for filly mares going 2 turns. The 6, Expect Endy, with a big win last out. That was her second start off the claim for Kieran McGee. That was a nice nickel starter right here at Pimlico, where she trains for your leading trainer, McGee. She's a perfect 4 for 4 in the off going. She's going to get a sloppy track today. She'll get a nice track. She'll get a nice trip with Julian Pimentel, who's also having a nice meet. So I'm going to key on the 6, Expect Endy. But it's a tough race. You have Lady Turpin there, Bad Nana, Banana Anna. They're awfully tough. What do you think about my single in the 5th?
Bad Nana, Banana. I think Expect Endy is a must-use. The way Bad Nana kind of rolled on the sloppy sealed surface a couple races back scares me. I think if you maybe could add one more in there, you would toss her in and bump that ticket up a little bit. But, the return should be strong today.
All right, so I take a shot there with the 6, Expect Endy, and then going 4 deep in race 6. That's a maiden 16 off the turf, 2 turns. I used the 1, 3, 6, 8. In there with the 6 being my top pick, Day of Reckoning. That might be an all race. The only horse I don't use in there is the 4 Nitro Fuel, who's just been clobbered in all 7 starts. I didn't use that horse. I use all but the 4 there in race 6. Race 8's a nice first level allowance contest for filly mares going 6 furlongs. I'm sorry, I skipped over race 7. Race 7's that nice maiden claiming 40,000 for 2-year-old fillies going 4.5. The 7 Swirly Shirley is going to be a popular favorite there in race 7, but you have some well-bred, nice first-time starters there for live trainers here. The 1 Question of the Day for Chambetta, very live. The 2 G's Warrior for Rob, very live. And the 3 Sip of Sunshine for John Salzman Jr., very live. So I go with the 1, 2, 3, 7 there in race 7. Race 8, that's a nice first-level allowance for filly mares, 3/4. The 1A Magical looks very talented, but Claudio Gonzalez with a powerful entry in there as well. The 2X Candy Coated Dame and the 2 Aiden's Ragdial. And then race 9, that's an off-the-turf 7,500 starter allowance going 2 turns. The 9 looks awfully tough in there. What's the question? Was entered main track only by Kreiser. That horse looks awfully tough. But the 1 Zensland going to get a nice ground-saving trip with Daniel Centeno aboard for Jamie Ness, who's also having a nice meet. So I go 1-9 there in race 9. What do you think about race 9? Well, who do you think the most likely single on people's pick 6? Wow. Is it going to be the 9? What's the question there in race 9, or could it be Magical in race 8?
I think it's one of those 2.
One of those 2.
Yep.
All right, so there's my pick 6. Go use that as a guide and get some friends. Everybody throw some money in the middle of the table and throw some more tickets on there. Take a shot. Mandatory payout here on the pick 6. Let's take a look at race 4. 6 furlongs. Filly mares claiming 7,500. Haven't won a race in 6 months. We have a video spotlight to show you. We both have the 7 on top, Have Hope. Let's show you Have Hope's last race from May 3rd at Laurel Park against Beaten Nickel Company for Farrier. This was the second race in the Farrier barn, second start in the Farrier barn.
Yeah, and just completely dominated. Went by Canna Red the speed, pretty much at will, just very easily. Little slight drift to about the 4 path, but cruised up to the lead and just widened from there. Pretty eager, 6 3/4 to the wire. Have Hope. That was second time Farrier. That's been a pretty strong angle for him the past couple years. Now we've got third time Farrier working the conditions up. You see the little left lead there. That could be a little bit concern. But Have Hope doesn't have a lot of speed to deal with as well. Maybe the prime speed is just to the inside. And Artie's Bourbon Girl, sat off of a quick pace last time and did it pretty easily. Going to be tough right back for Farrier. That's Have Hope.
All right, so we both have the 7 on top. How about the 8? I used Crystal Pier in the exacta. Vargas aboard this mare for Kieran McGee. This horse had a nice win on a fast track back in January against Beaten Nickel Company. Couple useful efforts on the turf since then. This will be her 4th race this year. This will be her first start in the off-going, so that's a big question mark. I just figured she'd get a nice trip with Vargas on the outside today.
Switching things up a little bit. I thought she was a little bit better on the turf, but, the 3 back try back in January good enough to put her right into the mix against this field. I mean, I thought she'd run a little bit better in both of those turf races. She didn't, so a little bit of a different try here.
Right.
We're going to go to the main track, see if she can run into the pace. She needs a little help up front. I think the 2 Dixie Rose is a user. The higher price.
That's the horse I'm worried about. I didn't use, yeah.
The higher price Dale Cap here excuses the prior 2 dirt tries back March 17th and March 5th. One at Charlestown, one at Laurel. But the blinkers come off. It's a really good angle and a good ROI for Dale Cap using that. And then you go back on the page on a muddy silt surface in January behind Socially Driven, a horse that went up the ranks for Wayne Potts. So I think Dixie Rose can make a run into it here, no doubt.
Yeah, Dale protects her a little bit here because she's a 4-life filly, and her recent form's just been okay. She was getting beat from those beaten 10,000 claimers at Laurel earlier this year. I mean, he could have put this filly in for a nickel 4-life. Maybe that race didn't go, so he goes here. Maybe he's protecting the filly. So, yeah, I go 4 deep here in race 4. I don't use the 2 Dixie Rose, but if you're playing a deeper ticket, I think the filly's very live.
Yeah, No Soup for You, who was going to be the lower price of the 2, was bet down, was well back behind Have Hope pretty much every step of the way.
Right.
Slugged up for second in a willing effort, so goes second time off the claim. Playing the condition game is Dale. And then you've got the 1, Empress Soiko for Joan Reynolds. Blinkers went on last time in a much improved effort, I thought. Kind of dictate, took a little pressure, then widened. But this horse, you go back on the page a few races, Laurel did try a mile and was fairly willingly to behind Expect Indy, a horse you like in that tougher race, Benchmark Babe. So Empress Soiko with Prado, with that kind of a rider, might be able to just go ahead and sit, relax somewhere mid-pack, and make a move into it.
Yeah, and if she breaks well and gets the lead, you're going to see Prado with a veteran move going straight in that far turn, carry on out to the 7th path, and then cut the turn.
Yep.
So, all right, so I used the 1 on my pick 6 ticket. The other 2 Dixie Rose, so I didn't use on my ticket, but that horse very live here in the 4th race. All right, let's turn the page here. Race 5 has a nice carryover in that late pick 5 with that industry low 12% takeout. Late pick 5 carryover, let's show you. It's $8,173. This will be well played today. It starts in race 5. This is a nice 5,000 starter allowance contest for filly and mares. Going a mile in the 16th, and the sloppy going the 6th. Expect Indy, claim for $7,500 at Laurel back in March. Won that day. A good third against First Level Allowance Company. First off the claim for Kieran McGee. And then he put her in for the nickel starter at Pimlico back on May 11th, and a good win that day. She's paired up a couple similar buyers. She gets an off track today. She has a win, 2 seconds, and a third in the off going from 4 starts. Pimentel will get a nice stalking trip on the outside. Pimentel having a nice meet. Kieran trying to be the leading trainer here at his home track. So I go with the 6, Expect Indy here on top.
Yeah, just steady as they come. Expect Indy, and we'll get good position today. A little bit of a shorter field. Was carried out early last time out, but just dogged down the speed and got the lead and was tenacious to the wire. Bad Nana, maybe a slight advantage with this moisture. I know Expect Indy likes it, but I think she really appreciates it as well. Bad Nana, I think she can go ahead and maybe turn the tables and go ahead and dictate. I don't really see anybody pushing her too strong on the front end.
All right, Bad Nana, Banana Anna, and who do you like here in the 5th? Rodman's going to have fun with that. We both like the 5 here. Lady Terps, very consistent at this level for Scott Lake. Ricardo Chappie will ride, and she's 4 for 10 in the off going as well. So the 5 Lady Terp with a good shot here in the 5th.
Yeah, it was down inside, maybe not quite the place to be on the 11th. It wasn't a real distinct bias that afternoon, but maybe she just doesn't like Pimlico. You see 3 starts. She's only topped out at a 56 fig. That's not going to be good enough to get it. She's going to have to improve and revert back to that 3-back try at Laurel if she's going to get it done. I say maybe it's just the track that's something that doesn't quite jive with her.
All right, so nice 6-horse field here. Starter Allowance Company. I go with the 6, Expect Indy, my key horse on the pick 6, but a tough race there in the 5th. Let's take a look at race 6 to kick off the late pick 4. We're off the turf today. Maiden claiming 16,003 and up here in race 6 to kick off this late pick 4. And this was a tough race to try to find a winner, try to find anybody with a pulse in here, really, on the main track. I go 4 deep, 1, 3, 6, 8, using everybody but the 4, Nitro Fuel, who does have a rider change, make the rider Horacio Caramanos on the 4 Nitro Fuel. But but that horse just doesn't look very good at all. I don't use that horse. I end up with the 6 on top here. Day of Reckoning, but this horse stretching out to 2 turns for the second time. It didn't go very well back in December. That was against Maiden Special Weight Company. This race a lot easier today. He was 25 to 1 in that race back in December. So he'll probably be in front with J.D. Acosta, but he might not be that fit to go 2 turns in the slop here. You have horses that have been going 2 turns here, like the 1, 3, and the 8.
That's the key. Will he get to the lead, get to the top of the stretch with the lead and say, I just don't want to go any further or not? He should carry this field a long, long way. There's not anybody with the kind of gate speed of the 6th Day of Reckoning. I'll go with the 8, Pendrell Moon, well-bred horse, but jamming down. Only 2 starts, and we're right for Maiden 16, the claiming reported first-time gelding this afternoon for Michael Matz. We saw Matz get a winner yesterday, turf to dirt with CC Rider with a gutsy ride up the rail for Cintron. What a nice win. That, I think the preliminary buy was 80 for that strong effort for CC Rider. But back to Pendrell Moon. Just well beaten. What can you say? The debut try against a much better field at Gulfstream. The light went on a little bit more on the turf, but turning back to the main track, I think is going to do it. You look at the mare, Jay-Z's Warrior was 6 for 19 on the dirt. This horse is a half to a 5-time dirt winner. I think this horse is going to prefer the main track. Shorter field, gets position. I think you kind of slowly just grind down Day of Reckoning.
I heard something about a late Matt's scratch that came in today. That's the only horse he has in today. Eric, if you guys can check in the trailer there, scratches for race 6. I at scratch time I had the 2, the 5, and the 7 being scratched. That's all we had. 2, 5, and 7. And the 8 is a late scratch. He does that. He likes to do that late scratch move. So all right, no Mats today here.
No Mats.
No Mats. The 8 is out.
Mats, no more.
All right, so just down to a 4-horse field there in the 6th race. Maybe just hit the all button there on those multi-race wagers.
Okay.
All right, let's turn the page here. Race 7. Race 7 is going to kick off the final pick 3 of the day. We're going 4.5 furlongs here in race 7. It's a nice group of maiden 2-year-old fillies. Maiden claiming $40,000 for race 7. We have a video spotlight to show you. The 7 Swirly Shirley had to break from the inside in her debut in a 7-horse field at Pimlico. Let's show you that race from May 12th right here at Pimlico. It's on the Orendo. My bad. That's not I have the 7 Swirly Shirley on top. We have the video spotlight. My bad, guys. On the 5 Orendo.
Orendo that day, you say towards the inside, a 2-hole. Had to steady there. Was pinched back. You're going to watch it one more time. Number 2, Orendo broke a step slow. The inside comes out. The outside drifts in just a little bit, and forcing the rider there, Garcia, to go ahead and steady, and drops well back, some 15, 16 lengths off of it around the turn. I picked this horse up late. You see the comment, steady start, eased out through the stretch, and a little bit of a late bid. A cleaner breeding, you see Spites down on the top end with that Haynesfield. Orenda is a price user, I believe. May not win it, but a user underneath.
All right, it's good. Catches a tough group here. I go with the 7 Swirly Shirley on top with the Hall of Famer Edgar Prado on this gemologist filly for trainer John Salzman Jr. Bet down to 5-1 in the debut and had to break on the inside. Lost his whip in the stretch, a useful third that day. Now a much better outside post today. This filly has experience and catches a small field. Prado should be able to stay trouble free out there in the clear here on the favorite in race 7.
The gemologists, they're running well early on in the careers. I go to the inside. We're going to need a good break, right? With the 1 question of the day and the 2 G's. We're one of these first-time starters, both by trainers, to get it done with their first-time starters. You got Trumbody, you got Cherry Robb. The 1 question of the day by the Factor. Has 4 winning siblings, a 2-year-old winner. So I like that. The Factor can get a first-time starter to win. And the 2 G's Warrior by Majestic Warrior. Looked at the mare. My Sparky was 3 for 7, sprinting on the dirt. Late-breaking Lasix. Always like that angle.
Sure.
Late-breaking Lasix on the 2 G's Warrior is also half to a 2-year-old winner.
All right, and the dam made $146,000. Hard knocking mare for the 2 G's Warrior. Rob having a big meet. The 3 Sip of Sunshine, 2-year-old filly by Freedom Child for trainer John Salzman Jr. Salzman did very well with that Freedom Child filly, limited view. This filly here, the dam was 0 for 3, and this is her first foal. So some question marks there, but some okay works over there at Laurel. A6 in debut with Yomar Ortiz. days, you always have to factor Salzman in to these 2-year-old races.
Sneaky good work back there on April the 6th, 3/8 and 36-3, ranked third of 20. The Lasix is on. Yo Ortiz, maybe not a name rider, maybe helping your price there.
Sure.
On the 3, Sip of Sunshine.
All right, so I go with the 1, 2, 3 in the 7 there on my pick 6. Let's take a look at race 8. Race 8's a nice first level allowance contest for filly mares 3 and up, going 6 furlongs on the main track. We kick off the late daily double here in race 8, and we both like the 1A Magical. Let's show you what she did April 14th. We have the video at Laurel Park, a maiden special weight. Man, she just clobbered this field, didn't she?
Of a very encouraging debut. Catches a shorter field and just kind of tracks the leader well in hand here for Sheldon Russell. Floated out to about the 4-path turning for a home and said it's over. Past the 316 he asked, and Magical, she does respond. A little shifting in there past the 8th pole, and then just shakes away there and opens up by 4 1/4 to the wire. Magical getting better with every start. Her third start, a little bit late to the race, is the 4-year-old by Tappet. You look at that family, though, you got to think Magical here is going to, maybe not right to the front. And Munificent's got pretty good gas from the outside. Maybe targets that one and tries to get by.
And since that win we just showed you, Magical been working up a storm at Laurel Park for trainer Brittany Trimble, up-and-coming trainer. Sheldon Russell rides this well-bred Peter Blum homebred by Tappet. So the 1A, a well-meant filly here, but a nice group of allowance runners. I go with the one of the Claudia runners in my exacta, the 2X Candy-Coated Dame. Jomar Torres will ride this filly, and if there's a hot pace early on, the 2X Candy-Coated Dame's going to benefit from that setup with a nice stalking trip on the outside.
She will, but I think Phantom Shot, has got maybe even just a little bit sharper punch at the 6 furlong distance. I like her here right at this 6 furlong, 7 furlongs. Came back with a strong return, freshened from November to late April. Only beaten 3/4 of the length to Charity Stripe. Charity Stripe must have best that day. Came back and took a lot of play when moving up to the 2 other than level. So Phantom Shot for Donnie Barr, I think is going to be firing late. Would like to see a hot and heavy pace up in front of her.
And the 6, Beneficent for the Red Hot Barn and Mary Epler. This filly trains here. This will be her first start at Pimlico. That could be dangerous here for the 6, Beneficent, for a Hot Barn and Caramanos aboard.
Barnes doing nothing but good right now. Mary Epler, Flying Pheasant Farm, they've teamed up over the last year or two and done quite well. Munificent, got beat at 3-5, 2 races back. Turf back to dirt. That angle works for her. Is she going to have enough punch? That's the key. She's got that one big number back to that 73. She hasn't been able to get back to that effort.
Right.
6 furlongs. Can she sustain? I'm not quite so sure, but she's going to be a factor a long way, no doubt.
All right, nice group of filly and mares allowance runners there in race 8. Let's take a look at race 9 off the turf. We're going a mile in a 16th, 7,500 starter allowance, 3 and up. The 9 was entered main track only, and he looks very tough on paper here. Looks like a layover. The 9, what's the question? Main track only here for Timmy Kreiser. An 8-year-old's made over $300,000. He's won 2 in a row. Kreiser got this horse back in December for a nickel and got him good early. Got him good this year. A nice win against Open 12-5, going 2 turns at Penn in late March, and then a nice win stepping up to beating 15,000 claimers last out at Penn, going 2 turns. So he catches a nice spot here with an off-the-turf race. Some scratches in this race. The 9 is going to be awfully tough with Angel Rodriguez.
He obviously knows this horse. You go way back on the page. This horse had a big effort and like a 2 other than at Laurel. And you're not going to see it on these PPs. But Kreiser, when he gets these horses rolling, he's just deadly in the starter allowance company up at Penn and wherever he goes. So what's the question? Hasn't won on an off track, but 7 out of 8 in the money. Dodge Private Label, first time Claudio, looks like the speed in the 9th. Going to maybe get tangled up with here's Johnny, but the 9 should be poised to stalk and pounce at an awfully short price.
I go 1-9 there on my pick 6 ticket here in this race. The 1 Zensland might get a nice ground-saving trip on the inside with Centeno and maybe pull off the upset here for trainer Jamie Ness. Ness barn having a big Preakness meet here at Pimlico. All right, so I told you who my single is in the pick 6. That's in race 5. The 6, Expect Indy. I keep my pick 6 ticket on that runner. My co-host horse this afternoon, Tim Tulloch. He has another key horse for you. Well, real quick, let's show you both the carryovers we have this afternoon. Starting race 4, it's mandatory payout day today here at Pimlico. Almost $280,000 in that pick 6 starting race 4. Then the late pick 5 over 8,100. That starts in race 5. It all must go today. Mandatory payout. Closing day here at the Preakness meet here at Pimlico. Let's see how Tim Tulloch is going to play the pick 6 and what key horse he's going to use.
Pimlico Racecourse will be the place to be on Memorial Day, where our 9-race program will feature the 20-cent Rainbow Pick 6 with a carryover in excess of $279,000. I have a key horse in that sequence, and she comes in the 8th race, and that is the number 1A Magical. Trained by Brittany Trimble, an up-and-coming young trainer, and ridden by Sheldon Russell, this filly has done absolutely nothing wrong in 2 starts, running second in her first start, running fast, winning her second start, running even faster, 110 flat. I think she'll love Pimlico Racecourse, and I think she's the horse to beat in the 8th. Come out and join us on Memorial Day for a great day of racing here at Old Hilltop Pimlico Racecourse.
All right, so just like you said, Keith, a lot of people probably going to be keen on the 1A Magical, going to be a popular favorite in today's allowance feature.
Yeah, people, if you're going to play and you're going to try to win it, you're going to go against Magical, go against the Chrysler horse in the last. If you're going to be a little bit hoggy and really pump that thing up, it's going to be awfully tough to be the single ticket, but you're going to need those 2 to get beat to really kind of make things a little juicier.
And if you're playing the pick 6 and pick 5 today, I would highly suggest closely watching these first 3 races and seeing how the track is playing. And it's listed as sloppy now. We'll see if it dries out a little bit and changes before race 4. We'll give you all the updates as we get them.
Absolutely. I mean, it could change by race 2. I heard the trucks going by again, a little floating this racetrack. So both here and at Laurel, they dry out pretty quick. The guys do a good job. So, yeah, we'll monitor the situation. I know you'll keep everybody apprised, and we'll take it from there.
All right, good luck. Dave Robin coming up next with today's scratches and changes. Happy Memorial Day.
Good luck.